Hello everyone, and welcome to the Nerd-Lair. Today I'm showing you a couple ways to help improve your experience on the Nerd-Lair forums, along with making everything a little bit more user-friendly and a little bit quicker to come across. So here on the Nerd-Lair forums you'll see our categories, Community and Phantom Zone. Now as the forums progress we may add more categories. If there are certain categories you don't really show interest in, or pretty much anything that has a minus or a plus, you can expand or collapse those categories. So you can even do it to recent topics or any of the stuff down here as well. We do have the forums listed here, and any of the subforums are going to be the little arrow below the icons. You can see all of those. However, you can get directly into those by just clicking the forum, and you can see the subforum that way. You can post directly in the forum, or you can go into the subforum and post. And you can even go to the jump to and get directly to a category forum or subforum. So like Phantom Zone, the category, then Anime and Mega is going to be your forum, and then the Anime Reviews is going to be your subforum. So you can jump directly to wherever you'd like. So you can also see here a list of recent topics. Now as the site gets a lot more topics, you're going to see this fill up pretty quickly, so that's why I've added pagination here, so that way you can see more of the topics all at once. You can also see our shout box where you can send some friendly shouts to anybody here on the forums. Just make sure it's user friendly, you know, nothing profanity, any kind of thing like that that's going to upset anybody. You'll see our who's online. Anybody that's online, it'll show a count, it'll show registered users online, and then the most active users. It's just kind of little statistics for online. We also have birthdays and then regular statistics such as total posts and topics and members and our newest member. Now in regards to actual forums, you can search the forums directly, the whole website for the actual forums, or you can go into individual topics and you can even search an individual post inside the topic. You can also post different things and you can quote other users. So for example, let's say we go into movies and TV, we'll choose movies, and then we'll go to Fast 7 by Josh. As you can see, he's got a Facebook video embedded. All you have to do is copy the link in the address bar. If it's YouTube video or anything that's pretty much video related, it'll automatically embed itself. And the cool thing is it's got some useful stuff on there like Facebook profile, sharing it, or commenting. Now this is what I was talking about in regards to quoting. Say I was going to reply and I was just going to be in regards to Steve Anchor, I was going to say that he will be missed. You know, if I came on and I saw that post, I may not understand who he's talking to directly. So that's why quoting is good, because if I'm replying to someone way up here and then I just send that with no quote like this, I don't know who they're talking to. So it comes in handy to quote people or to quote people on the forums. In this reference, he quoted Paul Walker. So it really just depends on how you want to use it. But if it's just someone you're replying to directly above your quick reply, then you can just go ahead and shoot a quick reply. Otherwise, I tend to click the quote button, and that'll directly quote that person directly. Now, you do have BB code that you can use, so you can bold, italics, underline. You can even quote somebody through here. And if you hover over it, it shows you how to break it down. Code is going to be if you want to share certain code, like, I don't know, batch code or JavaScript, PHP, that kind of thing. Your list is going to be broken down a little bit different. You can have it numbered, so you can see the asterisk there is going to be breaking down your points. So if you do list equals 1, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you do list equals A, it's going to be A, B, C, D, that kind of thing. And then that just inserts your breaker. So every one of these little asterisks in a bracket you'll have as a list item. Now for your images, you can actually directly paste a link to your image inside the BB code. The same for a URL. You can do the URL that way and just paste your hyperlink. Now it will automatically parse the URL to be hyperlinked unless you have that disabled. You can also do equals your hyperlink, and then at the end of the bracket you can put whatever you'd like, and whatever you put will be hyperlinked to that URL link. You can also disable BB code if you don't want to include it. If you're including some type of code, you can disable smileys if you don't want to use your smileys over here, or disable automatically parsing your URLs. You can also choose whether or not you want to have a signature. attached to your reply, and you can also choose whether or not to notify you if someone's replied to your actual reply. Now you can also choose your font color, you can change your size, you can even attach an image if you'd prefer to do it that way and not have to use BB code. And then once you're done, you would just click submit. You can also click preview and just see kind of how it would look, that kind of thing. It would show it up there. So that's pretty much how you would do that. Now the cool thing about your actual topics, you can actually go back wherever you are, list your topic title, and you can click there and you can just go back to the main thing. Now you can subscribe to a topic, unsubscribe, you can remove it from your bookmarks. I've already bookmarked and subscribed to this. You can also email the topic and print it. And I thought it would have a link to like user CP down there. It'd be a little bit easier, but you can go into your user control panel from your actual name. So under your subscriptions, you can see where you subscribe to. These are going to send you emails or notifications up here depending on what your preferences are set to. My bookmarks, I'm going to disable any kind of notifications because I'm going to treat them like information I may want to go back on that may be important. I don't need any updates on any kind of post. You can manage your drafts, your attachments, or any of your notifications through the user control panel. And you can go to your profile and edit your date of birth. Usually that's pulled from Facebook, but if you don't register through Facebook, then you can fill this in manually. You can put your location, website, Facebook, Twitter, Skype, YouTube, or Google+. So these will probably add more like gamer tags and such like that that'll be displayed on the actual post later on down the road. You can go ahead and add your signature. It's BB code compatible plus smileys. You can add an avatar or even use the default one. You can choose a file to do that. Your account settings, you can change your username if you don't like it. I have enabled that for all users. You can change your email. If you put in your current password, you can change your current password. Under board preferences, you have users can contact me by email, so that means any user can email you. Administrators can email me information, so like if we send out a mass email, it may be like a newsletter or something like that. Allowing users to send you private messages, that's going to be over here that you can choose to receive messages for that. And you can hide your online status. So if you hid your online status and then you disallowed private messages and emails, then you're pretty much off the grid. You can also set your time zone. Mine's currently set to Eastern time, so it's 11:42 here, which that accurately shows. For your posting defaults, I actually have notify me upon replies by default. I'm going to set that to yes. But it's currently set to no by default for everybody. Everything, this is a new account, so everything is exactly the same as y'all's is going to be set up as. So you can disable BB code smileys and your signature by default, so that way they're never displayed by you at least. But notify me upon reply, that's going to be basically subscribing me to any topic that I have replied to or that I've created. So I'm going to go ahead and enable that because that's something that I actually want. So that way, if you're not really active on the forums as much, or you only come on when someone replies, then you get an email or a notification. To me, I'd rather receive an email because if I'm on the back end, I may not see the notifications that are up here. Now, display options, this is where you can choose to disable images, flash animations, smileys, and signatures and avatars. So that way you won't see anybody's. But if you have your options enabled, then they can see yours. And then these other options, they're pretty much set up for the best and optimal preference, so I would go ahead and leave those the way they are, but you can play around with them. Just kind of remember what they're set at. These are the default settings in case you need those. So notification, these are going to be default as well. If someone replies to a topic you've bookmarked, I've actually disabled that. It was set to notification, but I don't want anything for that, because that's just something that I'll go back on and keep for my personal record if I need to go back in there for that information. So by default, it actually does have notifications enabled. If someone replies to a topic to which you're subscribed, you'll get an email and a notification on it. If someone quotes you in a post, you'll get a notification. I'd like to get an email on that as well. And if someone creates a topic in a forum to which you're subscribed, if you go over here, I'll show you that you can actually go in here, like anime and manga. You can actually go in your settings, or so I thought. Maybe not. I'll have to go through and enable that for you all. But you can actually get an email or notification for that as well when you're subscribed to a specific forum. And if someone sends you a private message, you can choose to get an email or notification on that. I'm going to enable that because I want emails for everything. That way, if I'm away from a computer and I get an email alert on my phone, then I can go ahead and pull it up on my phone and see it that way. So for private messages, this is going to be where you'll see your inbox, your folders, anything that you set up there. And then user groups, this is going to be where you can join certain user groups, request to join. You can even manage your user groups if you're in them. Your friends and foes, this is fairly straightforward. Your foes are going to be anyone you don't want to hear from, so if you add them to your list, you won't receive private messages and you won't receive any of the notifications from them, or any kind of post you will not be able to see by them. Any of your friends, that's going to be kind of your contact list, so if there's anybody you want to contact, you can refer to that. So that pretty much covers everything in regards to the Nerd-Lair forums. Should make everything a little bit easier to access. Oh, and you can actually, I just now learned that myself. I'm always learning new things. You can mark everything as read, so that way anything that's in unread post will automatically be marked as read. So if you click that, that's there. And if there's anything that you think you might feel like reading up on, if there's anything I haven't covered that you might be curious of, you can actually go into the FAQ and it's got a breakdown of everything. You simply just click on a button. It's anchor linked, so it'll drop you directly to that on the page without having to worry about refreshing. So anyway, I hope this was helpful to you all in navigating the forums a little bit easier and quicker. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. And we'll check out our next ones. Peace out.